I forgot something last time, so I'm just extra backtracking to fix that. After we done this, we can continue our run like we intended to. So we're trading away our Oddish. And then I will give us something else. Which will be an Onix, as it has a fun spray. Oh, who is that Pokemon? It's an Onix. Yeah, obviously, don't you? Do we now have an Onix in our party? Obviously I didn't use an Onix in my run, but I had a few other Pokemon. It's Rocky's the Onix. Yes, an item to hold. Speaking of which, we can give a berry to our Lightbulb, and I didn't really need to go back healing, but whatever. Let's go back. Mareep learned a new move. It's Thunder Shock. Really not much to brag about, to be honest. It was just let's see if we try to kill every Pokemon in our way. I defeated a few trainers and got a great ball in this game. Apparently there's a glitch that Ultra Bolts are weaker than Great Bolts. I just kind of annoying. So if that's true, I will check out for myself. Again, if that's really the case, then we will not buy an Ultra Bolt on this game. Because for the money spent you get less quality. We just consumed our berry. Let's go for the tackle attack for diversity's sake. Goes for the tail whip and the I know, let's tackle. And with this we defeated Relicanth. This trainer wants to challenge us. Let's see what he has. It's a camper room, and here's a Nidoran. Don't remember how well Nidoran does in this game, but competitively speaking, Nidoran improved. And on the contrary. So thinking about this, there's no moves this early, so yeah, I guess Nidoran line is pretty bad. On the contrary, the Lightbulb Mareep will be a very useful ally. While electric types are special, Mareep has a great special and evolves quick to Warty and Ampharos, which is pretty great. Another advantage of Ampharos is it can learn Fire Punch, which is a special move through TM. And electric and fire is a decent enough combination to brag about. So let's see if we can get through this cave. This guy is moving erratically. Let's give Lightbulb another berry and try to move all because Lucky gets him past him. But maybe we wanted to defeat. And there's a white Geodude. Let's escape here. Should I defeat him? Why not? Maybe we can talk about a few other enemies. Hiker in this game, Daniel got a 10. He has an Onix. Onix in this generation is more useful because it can evolve into Steelix, and Steelix is one of the best Pokemon in this game. I used to think, because of the magazine I had back in the day, that Steelix is a baby Onix. Glad it's no, with modern and speaking. I'm glad it's an evolution, because Onix really needs that stat buff, considering how awful of a Pokemon it is. Steelix is also a steel type, like the name implies, steel ground. Has Titanic defense, the highest defense, with the second highest defense, I want to say, in the game. I think it was 200, similar to Regirock, if I remember correctly. It has a good enough attack for this game. Competitively, it's very useful. It can explode, taking all major threats. It can use Roar. It has access to Curse to increase its massive defense. Yes, there's not much. There isn't very a lot to complain about defense and offense. Steelix is a very good defensive Pokemon. Let's take out this Geodude and continue. We have defeated Russell. Really like how these hikers have 10s in this game, shows that they are very long in the sun. The next Pokemon here is Zubat. Zubat in this game is useful, not useless, alongside with Noctowl and Togetic, and it's an early flying type that is from Generation 2 and newly introduced evolution that can learn fly. So you can have a Crobat for flying, you can have a Togetic for flying, or you use a Noctowl to fly. Or you can still use Generation 1 Pokemon if you so desire, like Pidgeotto or what is it called? Spearow, Fearow, evolution wise. So is it the Generation 2 has you covered in diversity for your flying user. Obviously later you can get more stuff to customize your teams that could use probably fly. The next thing about Zubat is, or Crobat, is that it can learn Wing Attack, and Wing Attack is now not a 35 base power move, but a 60 base power move. So you get quite a lot of firepower to get through various opponents, which is neat. So definitely worth using it. I didn't intend to kill that white Pokemon, but we found another Great Ball, so we have 3 Great Balls already. What's that? Next is another Geodude, still complaining. He roams through the cave. Let's escape, takes the item, it's an exit tag. What else do we? There's a wild Sandshrew. Sandslash still not very good in this game, but in-game run, speaking as in-game runs, it still has no stab move without TMs. It can still learn cut and evolve at level 21. So you have a decent attacker. Competitively speaking, not bad, I guess. Slowpoke, however, yes, Slowpoke and Slow becomes Slowpoke and Slowking, giving you 2 very good and bulky water types. In this area you can catch some fighting types, and while there's so much water, we may use a rope with a bunch of fighting types. They just mean one fighting type, and that is Machoke. There's so much stuff to talk about. Yeah, Zubat is great in this game. Definitely great is maybe a bit overstated, but it becomes covered, so it's actually useful. Then it can learn Flap once it's fully evolved, so you have good options as a flying type move. So as you see, Rod is no longer a guaranteed encounter like it used to be in Generation 1. Let's see if it's Magikarp or if we get some diversity. Yeah, it's just Magikarp. A level 10 Magikarp. I don't think we get much experience, but maybe might as well just kill it. Let's go. Did we read it? Yeah, we did. He just mentioned something interesting, so it's worth exploring later on in the game. Once we have Surf, we are close to the end. There's another Fire Breather. Let's see what he has. I really like how he breathes fire. There's a Vulpix. Vulpix and Ninetales still are more useful than last generation, but they are still mediocre Pokemon. I think you can catch one in Silver, but because the Firestone is in the post game, you can't unleash its full potential, and Vulpix is pretty much useless in the end game. But you can still use it. You can technically even trade it over to the previous gen and add it above it, then trade it back. Then we have this guy. If you are desperate in catching a Bellsprout, which is a very rare encounter. You want this guy's number because it increases the encounter rate, and he will tell you when that happens. Then you can encounter a bunch of Dunsparce. It's the swarm mechanic, and I really like the idea of it. Machoke in this game is a decent Pokemon. It learns Cross Chomp, which is a great move, a great fighting move. Steel types and dark types are weak to fighting types, so you get a lot of targets to defeat with Machoke. So Machoke, really great in this game. Competitively speaking, in game 1 they are okay. If you can evolve it, pretty much even better. So take it as you will. So our Lightbulb finally evolved into Flaffy. Fluffy, it's called right, or is it? Flaffy, yes. So not much time to worry about. Let's heal our team and then continue first. What does this guy want? Yeah, we can still just restore 20 Pokemon per turn. And here we can get an Apricot. There's a white Apricot which gives you a fast ball. The bad thing about fast ball is it doesn't catch the Pokemon the fast it is because of the glitch. It does the opposite. And this is Kurt. He's turning Apricots into Pokeballs, and it takes him 24 hours to do so. And this gen is bad because you can only make one single Apricot per day, so I abuse it because money management, like I said. But since I didn't know the Pokemon balls were glitched, a lot of stuff were wasted. Can we actually move further? Yes, we can. The rival would normally stop you. And do I want to move further from now? Not really. There was a reason I wanted, but I forgot. Well, he fell down. In this cave, it's a slowpoke draw. You can find wild Slowbirds and Slowpokes. If you are in the water, you can also catch Slowbros. But you need stuff for that. Also, you can find a guaranteed King's Rock in this place, but you need strength to do so. And King Rock is able to trade evolve your Slowpoke into a Slowbro. And Slowbro is really good because Slowpoke turns out a Slowking. Slowking is Slowbro, but specially defensively oriented instead of defensively oriented. They are both good Pokemon in this game. Slowbro and Slowking. They lost the Amnesia special mechanic boosting their special. but you don't need that really. They are still pretty good Pokemon. Psychic Water moves, Surf, Psychic, really good moves. You can teach them Ice Beam because they are water types. And because in this generation they also gain access to the ability to learn Fire Blast. And if you are into something like that, yeah, it's courage wise, they are great Pokemon, worth putting in your team. Be it in game or competitive, will. Don't be shy at a slow killing or slow ball into your team. Look at them. The Slowpokes look like they are trapped in bags and have seen some shit. Yeah, Team Rocket is back. The grunts have no names, so that's pretty annoying. And the other evolution with King's Rock is Politoed. Politoed in this game, in game 1, I never tried it. Competitively is a generate water type. They are useful I guess, but not really the best. You get water ice coverage, that's pretty much what all water types have. Like Poliwrath, you don't get the fighting stab or any additional steps, so meh. Poliwrath is probably more preferable because you can use powerful fighting moves that give you extra coverage, but yeah, the extra boost in special, it has a Mareep. Be good and look after the house with your grandpa and so who love that. Oh, this is terrifying. Damn, I never knew that. I guess I just talked to one and now I expected. That's really terrifying. Coughing looks great in this game too. Like this sprite work is a level of its own. Goes for poison gas looks great too. Sadly, that means we are actually poisoned, and now we have to deal with it. But he has only one Pokemon, so it should not be an issue for us to deal with. We go for Thunder Shoku and defeat it. Yeah, nice, level 17. Still, yeah, they did a great job defeating them. So Team Rocket disappears and Code comes, checking out the slow pokes, and yeah, we are pretty much safe, but the slow pokes now have no tail. And as a reward we do get a new Pokeball, it's a Lure Ball. And yeah, we just give him one of them and we can now change the gym. Let's heal up here. Still, Politoed has Perish Trap, which can come in handy, and it has, considering it can also learn Hypnosis, like the others. Well, there's stuff to do. Did you know, depending which of these trends you challenge first, the order of which Pokemon comes first is changing. That's pretty neat. So the first the one in the right, as the left, has Spinnerack. Now we have our speed halved, which is that. And the other will have the other Pokemon, which is likely Ladybug. Spinnerack and Ladybug are pretty awful early bug Pokemon. They evolve at level 20 plus. They have awful stats distribution which they can't abuse. Like 55 special for Lydian. Lydian has also elemental punches, which you would think would be pretty decent, but it isn't. But I guess Baton Pass, it's quite fast and screens, but for competitive maybe decent. A decent Baton Pass for low tiers. You can argue for that in about 4 generation up to generation 4, and after that argument no longer holds any value. Then you have Spinnerack, which is completely useless. It doesn't have any good physical moves, which is funny because its best stat will be its physical stat. It will learn Psychic, a powerful Psychic type attack, but really it's not worth it. Competitively speaking, Lady of Aiolos was always bottom tier. It got some love in Generation 6 with Sticky Web, and in Generation 3 it can, I guess, abuse Signal Beam. And in-game speaking, the only generation Aiolos was useful is Generation 3, and is that only in Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness where it has Signal Beam as its startup move. After that and before that, if you want to use Aiolos and see it being useful, then get Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness and play that. Otherwise, just forget about it. Ladian is completely useless. I guess you can make it a support unit in your XD or Colosseum game, which is double battle orientated, but it's not really worth it. And meanwhile, we defeat this guy. Beedrill in this game is still awful. Beedrill is one of the... It's an awful early bug, and competitively speaking it became only good in... I guess useful in Generation 4 with Poison or Toxic Spikes. Competitively speaking, it was only decent in Generation 6 where, and 7 that had a Mega Evolution. So, and those were not in games, they were post-game additions. So, yeah, pretty much not worth using that Pokemon in game. At least so far. Maybe someday we get a game where Beedrill is necessary to have in your team. That sounds like a joke now, but you never know. In the meantime, we'll eliminate Parrots. Parrots still useless in this game. Well, useful is a bit harsh, I guess, because it can learn Cut, and Cut is an important HM. So And if you want to catch some strong Pokemon, I guess you can have it in your team. But don't get your hopes up. There's Metapod. Metapod is always a free kill. But I bet he has Tackle, so let's switch to Aiolos. As I expected, it has more moves than just what we expected. The average Harden. So Aiolos will take care of these. There's a Cocoon. Speaking of early bugs Pokemon, Butterfree may be useful against Whitney. You may be thinking I'm scratching, considering it's double weak to roll out, but seriously, think about it. It has sleep powder and you want that melting to sleep. And not wake up. That's the best moment to kill it. We defeated Buxy. His final Pokemon was a Cypher. I think I will talk about Cypher later. We get Fury Cutter, which is another useful move for us. And we are going to immediately teach it. To Croc. And the reason why Fury Cutter is such an important move is for the same reason as Rage. But unlike Rage, Fury Cutter is super effective against grass types. And I think you know where I'm going with this. We are going to defeat Silver with it. I mean him. This is a situation where you can always be caught off guard, but just something you have to be careful with. So let's do it. He sends out Ghastly. I remember mentioning Ghastly in I mentioned Bellsprout has another Pokemon encounter, and Ghastly is a set encounter. Bug types are not very effective. Oh no, it used Spite. But we are going to press on. Having a Ghastly this early on is pretty neat. I guess I was a bit greedy here. I really don't need to build up Fury Cutter damage against him. I should have just let Aiolos handle this. No, I think I'm going to do that. Aiolos is immune to this attack and we can see that Mud Slap animation for once. And we have one hit KO, it's a Ghastly. Ghastly is pretty okay, I guess, for the in-game one. Sadly, without evolving it to Gengar, you have no access to the elemental punches, which is separated by the for its moveset. He goes for Supersonic. We heal some of our HP, but it won't be very helpful. Let's Croc handle it. Croc goes for Bite. Bite is now not a physical attack, but special attack. Yeah, we can heal. We dodge that, and we go for rage here. Let's see how much it does. It does decent damage. We are building up rage. I guess this is probably the best Pokemon to build up your attack power on. The next Pokemon will be Bayleaf. And for Bayleaf we really need that extra boost. So let's see. This is oh no, Razor Leaf. Hopefully we survive that, but I don't get overhooked up because Razor Leaf has a crit rate. But not a problem, we still have Aiolos. And Aiolos has Gust. If that we can defeat Bayleaf. We have defeated him. And I guess we can now heal our Pokemon. I really hate Team Rocket. There are so many. Yeah, we let Croc be on the front. Let's heal up. So this is the forest where you can catch Celebi, but not in this game. You have Wild Paris. If you have no Pokemon that can learn Cut, this is a Paris is a very useful Pokemon. In game, Paris is not the good offensive Pokemon like I mentioned, but what it has to offer is obviously Cut. And if you want to weaken weak Pokemon that are rare or super shiny, I guess you can use Spore, because this is the only Pokemon that can learn Spore. But on the contrary, you have if I stand, can I stand you this way? Yes. I think we got very lucky here. With this Farfetch puzzle, we have to bring him back to his owner. This is the boss, the other is the kid that's supposed to take care of this. And now we have Cut. We can later go to their home and get something else. Do we have a Pokemon that can Cut? Yeah, we have Croc, but I don't want to teach Croc Cut. So what I'm going to do is put a Lightbulb to the front and we catch a Paris. Paris will be a temporary member in this game, so really not much to worry about. It's a Caterpie. Let's take. I should have tried catching. I think I should have tried catching that Sandslash or something. This is a Metapod. The disappointing thing is that the bugs in this area are so weak. At this point you would expect some strong Pokemon to catch. If we go to their home, I don't think we can get to the item immediately. Might as well try. They will probably teleport right to us. So we are here. Let's heal up. Yes, they are already whole, and as a thanks we will likely get another item. It's a chocolate that boosts the power of fire type moves, and it's a very useful item for healing. Yeah, for selling, not healing. We can sell it for good cash, but for now we keep it in our inventory for emergency's sake. If we take out a few damage, yes, there's a Zubat. Didn't expect the Zubat here. Let's kill it. Nice. Who's that Pokemon? It's a Caterpie. We take it out with a Onix Thunder Shock. I hope Lightbulb doesn't get too strong here. Maybe I should put Rock to the front, right? These white Pokemon shouldn't be able to deal too much damage. There's a Caterpie, level 6, pretty good. Onix versus level 6 Cat. Let's see how much this tackle does. It does 1 damage and we do about the same. But we have Screech. He has Screenshot, which is not as good. The reason I'm kinda grinding this Onix is Rocky is really useful, isn't he, right? It's a rock type. Has amazing defenses, so against Whitney he may be a powerful ally. And the tackle still doesn't do much. Considering we beat the bug time gym, we should get a bug type badge boost. The badge boost in this game boosts, from my memory, your type and moves based on type. So besides dark type, you can boost the power of every attack type in this game to a decent amount to later deal with other stuff. Let's take go through the hardened tank, but we are almost level 20, so our scratch should take. Wow, it's survived. This Metabout sure is bulky, or our Croc is pretty weak. Still a few levels ahead of us. So let's continue. Who is that Pokemon? As a Megapod. Guess we switch to Lightbulb, because Lightbulb has attacks with special moves, and I guess it wouldn't be bad if we get some experience too. I guess this will take forever, so I will cut the recording here and we will see each other next time, once I found a cut user. See you next time.